Look at that juicy edge. 8,000 grit mirror we did last night on the show. Just want to show this guy off with my Koenig Area Style 57. It's probably, it's one of my favorite knives I own. It's very smooth. It flicks very well. It flips very well. It's got an amazing soft, completely 100% stick-free lock. Milling's dope. Hand satin blade. Cool knife. Polished chamfers. It's a numbered knife. I forget what number it is, but it's under the clip. He doesn't make these a ton. They're not super common. There's probably like 150 of these, maybe. So wait, some people join us, and then we'll get this show on the road. So today is packing day. So I usually do this right after I finish a knife. I will take a video of the knife, and then I will message it to the customer. And then without fail, they almost immediately respond, absolutely immediately, because they want their knife back. And then they pay, and then I box it up, and then I ship it out. So I have a couple knives I need to box up. One of which we finished yesterday is this guy. This Alan Elishewitz we did yesterday. We got to box this order up. But to get it out the door, I have to finish another knife that came in the box, which is, wait for it, ta-da! A beat up, super old CRKT Drifter in stainless steel. And I will sharpen whatever you send me, so that's what we're going to sharpen. So that was Jason messaging me about a membership request that we're trying to figure out. If he is a legit person. So this is pretty easy to clamp knife. This is a beater. We're not gonna kill ourselves on this one. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a quick sharpening. We're gonna give this a working edge. We're probably just going to do we'll go to 400. And replace that screw. So pull our strop out. Draw on our edge. Our edge is, I do have a no recurve policy. This is a very gentle recurve. Still counts as a recurve, but I'm going to do it for him. Recurves aren't good on your stones. It'll be okay since we're just doing a quick sharpen on this thing. Now find our edge. We are too high. So as always, it's important to find the best angle to sharpen at, the one that removes the most Sharpie throughout the entire edge, because that means you have the least amount of steel to remove. So we're getting close. Here I sharpen this side. Let's see how this lines up. Pretty good. Let's see what angle we're at. We're at, let's make it 18 degrees even. 18-degree edge. Okie dokie. And this is a pretty rough edge. This is obviously a user knife. So we're not, make sure we avoid the thumb stud. So this is one thing you need to make sure you do. Whenever you're sharpening at a lower angle, or any knife for that matter, but especially when you're at a lower angle, you need to make sure your thumb stud clears your stone. Because if you don't, and I've seen this happen on a Sabenza from one of the moderators in the group actually, he sharpened off his thumb stud, like sharpened the top off of it without paying attention. So pay attention to what you're going to hit. We'll just use some tape just because we don't want to damage the knife. Not much to damage really, but we're just going to do it because whenever I don't protect something, I fuck it up. Okay, so we're taping to the very end of the edge. The edge just kind of ends, whatever. Okay, so now we're just trying to get the front edge. We don't need to make this thing perfect. We don't need to profile it perfectly. We just need to get it sharp. So as I go around into like this part of the edge where it turns back, I'm kind of lifting my stone so it rides on the edge, because when you have your stone flat, it doesn't want to hit the middle of the recurve. So if you kind of put some pressure on the edge, you're kind of fixing that. Okay. All the Sharpie's gone, which is good, but unfortunately this edge is pretty banged up, so we're going to have to create a decent burr on it to get rid of that. Get the tip, point the tip up a little bit. We can do that. Okay, we got a burr. Doesn't take a lot. This is super soft steel. Pointing the tip up a little bit. Sharpening the easy part to sharpen, the belly on the front of the tip. Now let's do the recurve. Not mirroring this one. We're just making it sharp. I charge him appropriately for making it just sharp compared to like doing like the Elisha is. Okay, we got a burr throughout, so we're kind of sharpening. Now we're just trying to reduce the burr. Okay, now let's check, see how smooth the edge is. Very lightly touching our finger across it, looking for, using our fingernail, looking for chips. It's just kind of uneven. It's not chipped up anymore. It kind of feels wavy. So we're going to keep on profile a little bit more. Okay. Now we're going to switch to 400 grit stone to reduce this burr. It's huge. It's just soft steel. Creates big burr. And it's kind of hard to manage. So going up a stone always kind of knocks the burr size right down. It's turning out not half bad, I'm not going to lie. This is actually turning out pretty fucking good. It's a lot better than it was. Damn it, I always forget to take before and after pictures, but this one wasn't chipped or anything, so nothing impressive. It just looks a lot nicer than it did. It's crazy what a nice crispy looking edge can do to the looks of a knife. It makes your Instagram likes go way up. It makes your knife cut better. Makes you cooler. Okay, one more pass at 400 grit, producing the burr. Let's just do one more pass. Let's see how that feels. Still got a little bit of burr up by the tip. So this is what a quick and dirty sharpening looks like. I don't do that many of these, and I prefer, not that I won't happily take the money for them, but I prefer to do fancy knives, but I'll take them. They just don't make as good for content. Okay, so we sharpen this guy up. Oops, we're gonna strop it. I forgot. Oh, and we're gonna strop it with 3 micron gunny juice on a kangaroo leather strop from Hapstone. I bought a set of 5 of these. I have 5 different diamond emulsions on them. So we're just gonna do a quick strop, try to pull any burr off, not trying to polish the edge, trying to not cut it up on the tip or the recurve. Just kind of pulling any leftover burr off. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just got to be. Oh, I forgot to adjust the angle. Oops. It's probably okay though. If we're at a higher angle, I forgot to adjust the angle when we switch stones. So let's see where we're at. We are at 18.65, which is actually okay if you're at a higher angle, not that you're at a lower angle. If you're at a little bit higher angle, you're only hitting that leading edge, which is what you want anyway, and leather has some give to it, so we're okay with that. It's not a mirrored edge. Okay, unwrap this, and let's see if this thing does the most important thing it's supposed to do: cut paper. Beautifully. Oh, hell's a sharp. I think you'll be quite pleased with this edge. Hell's a sharp. I'm going to clean it up a little bit for him too. Didn't take very long, so we'll clean it up. Using we got a bunch of goobers and bullshit all over it. So we're using Gunny. I need more of this. Gunny Products Gunny Glow Cleaner. Just quick squirt. Let it sit for a second. Kind of absorb until all this dried on gunk. Then we're going to take a magic eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. And we're just going to scrub and see how much of this junk comes off. Some of it's rust. So it's not going to come off. But get it looking as good as we can for the fella. Yeah, it's rust. So there we go. Now we have an order complete. This order consisted of an Alan Leischwitz, custom fucking ridiculous, craziest thing I've ever sharpened, and a Gerber. I don't think these are all the same guys' knives. This knife took me 40 minutes to sharpen probably. It was the most difficult knife to sharpen I've done in a long time. Even though it's super simple edge, the steel just didn't want to cooperate when we did this one. So now it's sharp. It took a lot. It took like 4 sharpenings to get it there before it would cut like that. All right, now what we do is pack this up. To pack up knives, what I will do, since there's 3 in here, is I will use as much of their packaging as I can that they send. So let's package this up now. So I'm not going to use this box. I'm going to save the box because it has his contact information in case I forget it. And we're going to box up anything nice. So obviously this Alan Leishwitz is going to get boxed up in bubble wrap. Okay. Then I get a small USPS priority mailbox. These are free. You can get them from USPS.com, and they come in 25 packs. And all you have to do is have an account on USPS.com, which is free. And you go to order these, and it costs $0.00, and they will deliver as many as you want to your house. Like, I always feel guilty, like, oh, I'm going to order 75. It's going to take me a couple months to use that. No, just order what you're going to use. So I have many different size boxes. I have like 4 or 5 different boxes that I have extras of that I use just for shipping knives. So this is what I use most frequently. And we'll box that up like this Alan Leishwitz. Put a little tape on it just in case. We'll go inside. So I've only had one knife get lost in transit, and it was stolen. It was a Strider, unfortunately, and it was stolen by someone ripping through the side of the pack. I don't know how people do that or why they do that or know to do it, but they ripped through the side of the package and pulled the Strider out. At that point, all I was doing is I was just stuffing the boxes full of papers and wrapping the things up. So you could reach through and grab it. But since then, I've been using padded envelopes to go inside the box and act as kind of like a second layer of defense. So if you rip open the box, you still got, unpadded, you still got a layer of protection that you can't really get through quickly. So we're going to fold this like this. We're going to stick this in the box. We're going to grab ourselves a Millie Club rec sticker. We'll shove it in the box. Okay, and now I'm not going to label this right now on camera because I need a computer to do that. So this is going to thread the box so I don't get it mixed up. It's going to Randy. And then what I will do is I go to pirateship.com, where postage is 20% cheaper than it is at USPS. It's a very easy to use website. It's no membership needed. It's not a scam. It works perfect. It's better than using the government's own systems. It's badass, and it's cheaper too. So that's how I ship. So that's the process. Normally when I finish a knife, I will box it right away so I don't get knives mixed up with other people. But see, it doesn't shake around. Padded inside. Protected. We'll get it shipped. Oh yeah, he wants insurance. So pirate ship insurance is $8 per $1,000 of coverage. So he wants $2,000 of coverage, which makes sense because that's an expensive ass knife. So it'll be 16 extra bucks for insurance, which is pretty cheap, I think, because I see packages come to me with when you buy postage at the post office. This is not smart on their behalf, but they print the dollar value that you spent on that parcel on the label. So if you have a small box and it says like $25 on it, someone's going to know that there's an insured box with a bunch of money's worth of shit in it. So on Pirate Ship, it doesn't print off that. It just hides it in the code, so you don't know how much the label costs. But for me, if you buy insurance, it shouldn't print, hey, I have insurance on this box. Okay, that was knife number one. Got a little bit of shit out of her way. Knife number two, we got two more knives to box up. We'll do later and drop them off at the post office. I go to the post office 2 or 3 times a week. Whenever dropping off the kids, and I remember allow it to happen, I am a stay-at-home father. So today I have no kids. My daughter is at my in-laws' house. I dropped her off this morning. She's staying the night. And my son is at preschool until 3 more hours. 3 more hours of fun. So, yeah, I go to the post office when I can, but when I have them, it's not going to happen sometimes for a couple days. What else do we have to sharpen? Let's sharpen my pair 3. Actually, I'll be right back. Tea break. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for staying with me. So we're putting our pair 3 and XHP steel into, let's do it on the cadet, or the Hapstone. Show off another system. Take off the strop before I damage it. So now we're going to use the Hapstone RS. RS. Does the same thing. $200 less. I will say, if you're watching this video and you are looking for a TS Prof Pro Cadet, the badass one, I only have the regular Nero. But if you want the dial on the Pro Cadet, I know one that's for sale for $450. Is brand new in the box, never opened or used, which is a super good deal. So if you do want a Cadet, hit me up. I know someone's about to list theirs because they're going to buy a Hapstone instead. So they bought the TS Prof and never used it, and then decided that they want to save some money on the adventure, and they're going to return it or sell it and get a Hapstone, which is cool. Nothing wrong with either system. Who is with me in the comments? We literally have no comments after 23 minutes. This is absurd. No one joined me today. It's almost like it's not casting. And crank these down hells tight because the Hapstone requires quite a bit of pressure to keep these things from scooting around. I got a chamois cloth in there to protect the coating. Then why aren't you participating, Mr. Calico? Are you too busy polishing shit? Okay, set this to 17 degrees. So we're going to go up a little bit. Now we're going to use our micro adjuster to go the 0.1 little to 17 degrees. Dead on. Spider goes, I sharpen to 17 degrees pretty much regardless, unless there's a obvious reason to not. If they're within a few degrees of 17, I'll reprofile it just to stay consistent with my other knives. So we're too high of an angle on this side. On this side, we are fairly close to being right on. Yeah, that's how it goes usually. Usually one side's pretty close to right on, and one side's off. When both sides are right on, I don't believe it. You got me on a sharpening kick. I just got. What kind of stones did you get? I'm gonna order some more Hapstone CBN stones. I'm liking stones. I might get some other brands. I might get some Poltava stones too to try those out. What is up, my dude? Okay, let's tape this. Almost forgot because it's my knife and I wasn't paying attention. Okay, just forming the electrical tape up on the vertical face of the flat grind line with my fingernail, just kind of shoving it in there, getting all the bubbles out, making it fitted as much as you can. Protect from the stone hitting it and scratching your beautiful DLC coating. DLC is hard to scratch, but you know what scratches it? Stones. Really fucking easy. Stones will cut right through the DLC coating. DLC is really hard, but it's not harder than a CPN particle or a diamond particle. Ooh, premium diamonds. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how those are because if the thing I like about these, I like the fact they mirror so easy, but I like the metallic bonded nature of they don't go out of flat, they don't cup, they just stay a brick of grit basically. So yeah, I'm interested to see how those finish. I'm sure they give you a mirror just fine. They are cheaper by a decent amount too. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to use this grip. Just I like this. Oh, make sure. Okay, I like the sharpener a lot, but this grip is really hampering my abilities to put a lot of pressure on the edge, which is what it's supposed to be. Not supposed to put pressure on the edge, but when I'm profiling, it makes it easier. That's for damn sure. I swear, I'm gonna clean this rod. It's got oil on it. Could put Gunny Glide on the rod to try out to see if it made it slipperier. But what it does is it makes it worse. It makes it so it feels like there's oil residue slowing down its viscous nature when it goes through this thing. So clean it off a little bit. Don't oil your Hapstone sharpener with anything but like graphite powder. It'll make it sluggish and really difficult to use. So we're profiling quite a bit of material off this edge. This is probably at 15 degrees, without a guess. But more than 17. We're doing our heel. We got a little valley in front of our heel we got to take out. We got a little bit of work on this edge though. But we're not going to do this whole edge at once because we already have a burr. So since we were at an angle that's higher than the existing angle, we're creating a burr from minute one. We're already sharpening. And there's like a limit, it feels like, of how much burr you can create. I don't know. But we already have a burr, so we're not going to get as much production out of this until we flip it, do the other side, and then go back. Keep it even. This side's very much to the right angle, so this side we're not going to have to work nearly as much, but we need to work it still to keep the bevels on both sides equal. This side's kind of big, actually, so might actually work out for us in the end. Okay, pushing this up against the choil. It's amazing how fast this will make a heel. And I guess 5 strokes. There's 10 strokes, and we got a heel. We'll hit it back up to blend it back in, but the heel itself is pretty simple. So now we're just trying to make a burr the opposite side. I hit my coated PM2 with some dirt by mistake and got it all scratched up. If you did mean dirt and you didn't mean stone or anything like that, you can clean that off your PM2. What you need is a rust eraser, which the one that I've used this for 5 years. The same rust eraser. Look how it's like this big when you buy it. This is what's left of my rust eraser. Buy a rust eraser. The one I recommend is not for sale on Amazon anymore. If it is, buy it. It's got a picture of a pocket knife next to it. But get a rust eraser. This will take the scratches out. Use some oil after you get the scratches out because it will look kind of dull. Oil with the magic eraser to scrub it all clean, and then wipe it off to get the oil off with the chamois cloth, and you'll have a new looking DLC. It'll look brand new. Flip. This tip is going to take some effort to get it even with the rest of the edge. That's not too bad. We're getting there. This bevel is smaller than the other side, so we're going to work this side a little bit more and try to make it bigger. So if you have a big bevel and a small bevel on one side, well, the way this works, the way it has to work physically, is if you have a big bevel on one side and you have it eaten up into the edge or to the blade where it gets fat, but if you're still on that, the leading edge of the knife, if you have a big bevel, the other side is going to be small. And the reason is because that is dictated by the center line of the apex. So if you have a big bevel and want to get it smaller, don't keep on scrubbing on it. Scrub on the opposite side so you can move that center line over. And by moving the center line over, it eats away some of the bottom of the edge, and it brings your bevel down at the same time. So if you have a big bevel, stop and work the opposite side. Is the takeaway from that. You're not going to make a bevel smaller by continuing to work it. You need to do the opposite side of it. And every freaking Spyderco, or PM2 and Para 3 anyway, you get these little pain in the ass areas to sharpen right 1/4 inch in front of the ricasso every freaking time. And to get them, you kind of have to just keep on working it for freaking ever. But you turn your stone a little bit on edge, helps get in. So like you twist the stone a little bit like this, it'll help get into that little corner and get the edge all even. This is a pain in the ass. We're almost there. Okay, that's about enough on that side. We got a huge burr. I think they scratch aggressive. I have to use light touch. Yes, I agree. They probably do that. So you can hear the burr. That noise is the burr hitting that noise. That noise is the burr touching the stone. So when your apex, you'll feel the burr. When you're trying to reduce the burr, you'll feel it get pushed down by the stone. And then you're just going to lightly polish, even up your bevels, and then switch back over, decide we're still working. Gotta get the damn heel. There's a little valley out by the heel. And when you're working an edge and you have like a problem spot, don't neglect the rest of the edge, or you will have a big bevel on part of your edge and a small bevel on the other part. So continuing to just like hit everything, so as the edge comes up at the heel, it matches. Okay, we're almost there with this little divot. Okay, I think, oh, it's so close to out. What's funny is it's technically, no one would notice it. If this was a customer's knife, I could get away with saying it was done. But it's my knife, and I will know that it needs a few more strokes to be fully gone. Why is this doing that? Not sliding as easy as it should. Get our tip again. Doing the finger under the tip trick. Just reducing the burr so we can flip it back over and hit that spot again. Okay, our little spot's finally gone. So now let's just make sure the bevel looks even throughout the whole edge. So we're going to do some more strokes. Tip needs a little more work. It's not fully flattened out yet. There we go. Now we're just reducing the burr. Now we can switch stones to our 400 grit stone. So really in a stone, we're not trying to get a mirror or anything. So we're really just trying to reduce the burr size and make a nice satin finished looking, even nice matte scratchless looking kind of edge. So at 400 grit, this leaves a really nice finish. It's matte without scratches running through it, really kind of smoky colored. Yeah, it reflects light pretty well, actually. And it's hells of sharp. Okay, this is my knife, and we're going to call that good enough. Okay, let's switch to 3 micron strop. And this time we won't forget to adjust the angle. So it's at 17.65. So we're going to use our micro adjuster over here on our Hapstone RS to go down 0.6 degrees. Okay, so we drop the angle to match what our stone was at. Because now all we're trying to do with this strop is polish the very apex leading edge infinity point of the blade. We're trying to pull all those fibers straight, and we're doing that using the diamond emulsion in the strop, and the leather in the strop is pulling the edge away from itself and pulling off any burr and just kind of straightening the fibers of the steel up. But really all you have to do is, it's nice to hit the whole bevel. That's the right angle you want to be at, but you want to be at least the bevel angle or higher to get the front edge. One more pass. Okay, all done. That took a little bit more work than some others. Spydercos are, I don't know, I'm pretty good at doing them, but sometimes they are quite a bit of profiling to do. I would never dare do this to some other knife brands. Like, I would never take a CRK and scrub on it like I do a PM2. But luckily, those knives have good grinds. Just clean it. So, like, I just put some oil on there to get the dirt off. That's what I use for DLC after I sharpen is oil. Let me get some more. I'm basically out. I have like a couple drops left. And it gets the knife nice and black. And then you take a chamois cloth, which sucks up the oil and leaves a nice lint-free, no paper towel junk. It's a nice, clean, dry finish. If you get all the little cracks and nooks and crannies, you end up with that. A very black knife. Let me take this paper. Laser beam, it's sharp as shit. So then what I do is I sit around and enjoy what I have created. I might work on this again later. I kind of didn't half-ass it. But the heel on the presentation or the clip side could be taller. It doesn't need to be though. It's fine. It's a Para 3 lightweight. Sharp as shit. Cuts great. Looks good. Thank you all for joining me again. You got any questions? Or gonna wrap this session up. Call it good. Well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Millie Club channel, Millie PM2 Para 3 Club. We have a lot of videos up there. Jason has a bunch of knife reviews from back in the day, but there's videos up there. There's instructions. All the live videos are up there. A ton of FFIBs, all the good ones. So check it out, and I will see you guys again later. Peace out.